Welcome to the Spring Break Travel Ideas. I'm Tonya with the Traveling Praters, and I'm here with Deb, just short of crazy. There's Deb. And with Nedra of Adventure Mom Blog. And we're excited to talk to you guys about some off-the-beaten-path destinations.
Off the beaten path, my favorite thing to find.
Yeah. I'm going to let you guys start, and then I'll talk
about
that's one.
Nice.
I know.
Nice.
Isn't that great?
So off the beaten path, and that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. It can be, maybe the not well-known spring break destination. So everybody goes to, from Michigan, where I'm located, everybody goes to Florida, right? They go to Orlando or Fort Lauderdale, one of those. Maybe Myrtle Beach. But so they always go to Florida. So I like to find places that everybody's not at because I'm not a fan of crowds.
Right.
So one place I found in the last couple of years that I think would make a great spring break destination is San Jacinto Valley, California. And that's in Southern California. And when people think of SoCal, they think it's too expensive. But I'm here to tell you there are places there that are very affordable. And so Hemet and San Jacinto, California are one of them, or two. They are located just an hour and a half, let me get my directions straight, east of LA or San Diego. So they're about halfway between Palm Springs and LA. All kinds of outdoor activities there. You can go mountain biking, hiking. You could do indoor skydiving. You can do paragliding. There's great food there. Tonya was there just a little bit ago with me, and there's good food. I like the food.
Really good food, yes.
Yep, good food. Affordable. The hotels are really affordable. There's camping, there's lakes, there's fishing, there's boating. So really anything you might want to do for outdoor focused families. San Jacinto has got it going on. I highly recommend it. Great museums if there's a rainy day. There's a fun science museum. And
the Science Museum is great.
I like
the movie theater and the Science Museum is worth checking out alone. That's
a lot of fun. So it's just a fun little area. So, and I tell people 2 days, maybe 2 nights, 3 days there. It's a good length of time for that area. And then you could always move on to the greater Palm Springs area or even down to Temecula for a day or two. That's a fun area as well. So some ideas for Southern California for our friends on the West Coast. I like that because it's warm. It's not hot, but it's usually warm. So if you have the chance, and this is a lot of fun, if you have the chance to take the San Andreas Fault Jeep tour out of Palm Springs, that's a fun little quirky off the beaten path thing, and they take you right along the earthquake fault line and tell you all about it. And we had a lot of fun.
That scares me.
No, it was so much fun.
That scares me.
It was a really good time. So there's my one little tip for a random weird spot for off the beaten path destination on the West Coast for Southern California. So, and I think Nedra had one for.
Yeah, we went last year. We did French Lick, Indiana. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, that's right. French Lick. That was the one.
So we stayed there, and I was surprised at how much they had available for kids. So at French Lick Resort, they had a whole activity center for kids so they could do things all day long. There was also an area where they could bowl. They could do outdoor stuff. We did foot golf. We had across the street, there was an area where you could do laser tag. And then before we arrived at the resort, we went to Yellowstone Ranch and did an ATV tour, which was a lot of fun.
Wait, where did you go before you went to the resort?
Yellowstone Ranch.
What is that?
STEM.
Will you drop a link in the sidebar when you have a second? When you're done? What is it? What will people see there?
So what we did is we did an ATV tour. So that was a lot of fun. I had never, my husband wasn't able to go with us for that part of the trip. And it was my first time driving one by myself, bring them along. And so there were even a few parts that were pretty challenging, which was good for me because it trusted me. And it was a lot of fun. It was way more fun than I anticipated.
Cool.
So I really love that.
That's in Southern Indiana?
It is. So it wasn't that far from French Lick, Indiana.
Okay.
Another thing we did was Blue Spring Caverns. They have a an underwater boat tour you do in a cave. And so that was a little bit different too. It's been on my bucket list for a while. So,
and where's that located?
That also, I would say maybe was, if I were to guesstimate, maybe about 30 minutes away from there, 30, 40 minutes.
So tell people where French Lick is at within the state of Indiana. Like, where's a good, like it's in the southern part of the state, right?
It's in the southern, probably kind of middle, I guess.
Okay. How far from a major city? How far south of Indianapolis would you say? Kind of south, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be south to there, and then also kind of the area near, like if you're near Louisville, it would be maybe another, I'm going to guess, maybe 45 minutes to an hour from Louisville.
Okay.
Kentucky, and which borders right on Indiana as well.
Okay. So that's a good destination for Midwest.
We had fun doing that, and then so we spent part of it doing that, and then we did a very untraditional. We went up north for spring break, so we went to Grand Rapids and went to a bunch of different museums there and things to do, and then we went even more north, and we went to Mackinac City for a day.
Nice.
Drove up through Gaylord. There's a place called Diana's Delights that is my favorite for breakfast. It is so good, and they have a place where you can watch the elk. So they have an elk viewing area. So you can go, and everything in Gaylord is an alpine theme, so it's very
yes, it is.
A little time. Right off 75. So we went from there, and then we went to Mackinac City. And during that time, everything was still frozen, so the water was really, it looked amazing. So just being able to see the formations and under the bridge, and then we went to Petoskey. So we kind of did a little tour of northern Michigan.
That's great. Petoskey is a great destination.
I love Petoskey.
Right?
Yeah. And I think I stopped at Gaylord on the way to Petoskey.
You may have. Yeah. It's a good frozen little road trip for you there. So,
but we found some beauty in it.
Yeah. But if people don't want to go to Florida, I mean, there's skiing up this way if people want to take a ski spring break trip, So there's lots of options for people that aren't looking for the beach spring break experience. So
we've got the water parks in Sandusky.
Yes, we've got
great indoor spring break. The Kalahari is the largest hotel in Ohio.
Good Lord.
I know, and the water park is like, Nedra and I were there last year on a tour, and I think they told us it's the size of 3 Walmarts.
What?
Giant. I remember
no
football fields. Like it is so huge, and I've gone to a few other ones that are fairly big since then, but still, with Kalahari being my point of reference, it's just like, it's so huge.
Oh my God.
It's massive, and there's a lot more to do there than just the water park, because they have a huge arcade room. They have putt-putt golf, like glow-in-the-dark putt-putt golf, and they have a 4D experience. It's all indoors.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
It's pretty massive and overwhelming and huge. And they also have where you can pet. They had like a Bengal tiger there, like a baby, and you can get your pictures taken with him when he wants to be there. His owners take really good care of him. So if he doesn't want to cooperate that day, then they don't make him go.
All right.
And
or if he's tired, he goes home early.
Fair enough.
There's the outside area too with animals that you can it's almost like kind of like a zoo petting. Like some animals are the type that you can pet, and then other ones are the ones that you would look at more, like monkeys, things like that. But that was really neat. And then they also have like a little outdoor adventure area, a little zip line.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
Hey, is Jill from Sandusky, are you still online with us? Do you want to jump in and take a hot seat? We have an open seat if you want to talk about the area a little bit. You just click that little dial in button you're seeing on your screen, and we can put you in a seat if you're interested. If not, no big deal. I mean, this is being recorded for, forever and always. So I get it. If
nothing like putting her on the spot.
It's an option if you want to. No, no pressure. She's like, don't think I can do it from this computer. Okay. Well, we'll have you on another time.
Indoor are definitely a great option though, or even just a 2 day getaways. Like we love doing that. If we don't have a lot of time, or if my husband's schedule doesn't work out, we'll either do a day trip somewhere, especially for us, like Indy, Columbus, Hocking Hills. We've gone to Red River Gorge, just enough to kind of
Hocking Hills.
They're not. I mean, if it's 2 hours away, I'm even okay with doing it as a day trip if we get up really early. If we don't want to spend the night, but there's so much to do that's close by.
There's a lot in the Midwest. I think people are surprised. There's so much to do here. So, was there anything else in Sandusky we should know about, Tonya?
Oh, Great Wolf Lodge. They have the Merry-Go-Round Museum.
Great. Have you guys both been there? I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's been a few years since I've been down there, but I'm going to get back soon.
There's also, well, you know what? One of my favorite ones up there is the drive-through animal park.
Oh my gosh, that's so
the
much fun.
African Safari Wildlife Park. That is fun.
Is it open in March, April for spring break?
I don't know. I can look.
I know it's open in the summer, but
that was like so much fun.
Here's the best thing you have to do for that. I'm assuming they still have the giraffe, but you have to go through with a car that has a sunroof and then feed the giraffe through the sunroof.
The giraffe was in a building on its own when I was there, but I was at the very tail end of the season.
Okay.
So, but what I would want to tell people is, I've been through other wildlife parks, and this one blows them away because there are so many animals, and they will crowd around your vehicle, so it's almost frightening. Just a little bit. So you don't want to roll your windows all the way down, or you're going to have things climbing in there to your window. It's crazy. So that was kind of a little bit of a surprise to me. I didn't expect to see so many animals. And your vehicle, plan to go to the car wash when you're done. That's all I'm going to say there. Go to the car wash. You're going to be slimed.
And there is an area too where you can get out and walk and see animals too. So you can go through the part where you drive through more than once. So you can also get out in another area and you can do a picnic or visit some of the other animals, almost like you would a little zoo.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
You know, I'm showing that they're open today.
Oh,
is that true on the website? Anyways, if anybody's interested, I don't have my sidebar, so I can't drop links there. But it's AfricanSafariWildlifePark.com.
And I have a post on it. I'll share a link from ours. And you can see the animal slobber on the side of my car at the end.
Yeah. I don't think they're open right now because it says see you next spring. So they should be opening sometime in the spring.
Okay.
But yeah, that's definitely a fun spot. For families, Lakeside is a great spot to get away. And my husband and I and the kids, when they were with us, we just like to go up and drive around the lighthouse has a museum there, and we can see the lighthouse, and they have the Keeper's House, which is fun. They have Johnson's Island, which appealed to us, kind of an educational stop. It was prisoner of war camp in the Civil War. So they have a couple monuments there and a cemetery. There's a lot to do in that area.
So for people that may be watching that aren't familiar with the Midwest like we are, can you tell them where they can find Sandusky at on the map?
Sandusky is northern Ohio. I think it's northwest, actually. It's in between Cleveland and Columbus, right on Lake Erie.
Yeah. I always forget about that. I just assume everybody knows where, all the Midwest destinations are, and not true. So Jill's having a few issues with our video feed. Hopefully she can figure that out. And is anybody else having issues with losing us on video? If so, this blab is still fairly new, and I think they're still maybe working out some kinks with everything, but we're going to keep trying it each week to see how it works. Now, Lisa from The Walking Tourist mentioned that Kansas City is a great destination for a spring break off the beaten path, with lots to do there as well. I have not been to Kansas City. Have you guys?
I have. I just went there for the first time in October, and that was nice. There was a lot more there than I anticipated to do.
What was the best part?
I really liked the museum they had a jazz museum and then also like a Negro baseball museum, and so that was really neat. And they're kind of both fused together in the same building, so you kind of get two different elements of it.
Right.
But for me, the guides were what made the museum, because they just brought the stories to life, and they were just so animated and just really retold it in such a way that you were like, they brought the museum to life when you would go through it. There was an NCAA basketball museum. I always love sports, so I know they would have loved going there. They had a great zoo. I'm trying to think of some of the other places we went to. We went to the Lego area. They have a Lego kind of like downtown spot, and then also they have an aquarium, like those are kind of next to each other as well. Like,
okay. So that's good for families with young children.
Really walkable to downtown. And then one of the restaurants they had downtown was really cute. It had kind of a train theme, and so the food was brought to you from this train on the tracks, and so it'd lower it down to your table.
Okay,
that's fun.
Cool.
Something kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I was just thinking about this. I think Louisville would make a great destination for spring break.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because they have that huge underground adventure park.
Yes.
So the kids would love that, right? You can zip line, right? Ropes course, underground mountain biking. There was something else. What else could you do?
Tram tour if you want to do that.
Tram tour for us wimps.
The ropes course.
Me too.
The ropes course there is so much fun. It's underground as well. And then the bike park, you don't have to do all the extreme jumps. You can do just like a mountain bike trail around the perimeter.
Okay.
That's what I did. I didn't do any jumps, but it was still a blast. And the zip lining there is very fun. I love it because it's different. Like, it definitely gives you a different, unique element going through where underground it's kind of not as lit as well. It's a great place.
Yeah. Same as scary. For Deb and I who don't like to zip line, okay? Right. Maybe it'd be good for us not to see as well. I don't know.
Right. You know, they have the Louisville Slugger Museum there as well.
Yeah. Oh, and they have the world's largest bat.
Yes, you can go take a tour of how they make the baseball bats, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that yet, but that was there. And this is probably not for families with small children, but if you have older teens, they have the haunted Waverly Hills Sanatorium that you can tour and take a ghost tour on. Totally doing that when I go next month. I'm getting my ghost hunt on.
And if you like horses, you have to go to the Derby Museum just to be able to learn more about Derby culture. And then there's a great tour you can take on the property as well that walks you through.
Okay, that's cool. And they have the bridge where you can walk over to Indiana. Is that right?
Yeah. The pedestrian bridge that just opened up.
So that's fun.
And you got to do bourbon taste.
Right, if you're there with kids. Well, maybe if you are there with kids.
Right?
Maybe.
You know, since we're talking about Kentucky, Bowling Green is a great destination. I know Nedra and I have both been there. They have the Corvette Museum, which is really good for people, car lovers. You can go through the Corvette factory and watch them being made. I know my kids really enjoyed that. If you pay for it, there might be an option for that.
Would be worth it.
I think it was a little bit outside of our budget, but yeah, lots to do there in Bowling Green. They've got a great train depot, historic train depot, and you can see the historic trains that have been refurbished.
Yep. Where's Bowling Green at in relation to Louisville?
Well, it's on the other side of the state.
Okay.
Isn't it? So, well, no, you go through Louisville, and then Cave City. It's in between Louisville and Nashville.
Okay.
Is that right, Nedra? I think it's just past Mammoth Caves National Park.
All right. Have you guys been to Mammoth Cave?
Yeah. So we had a trip that was in that area. Then we did Mammoth Cave, and then we also did some of the caves in Cape. So another one too is Kentucky Down Under, which is kind of because you get to
that one too.
Animals, but then they also have a cave on site too that you can take a tour in.
Mm-hmm.
So and they had. I'm going blank on the name right this moment, but there's a place there in Bowling Green where you can also watch them do the drag races. And so we went there and it was so much fun. I'm going to look up the name.
Look up the name. Drop us a link.
You know what we did there? We did there's a cave. Did you do the cave where you go in by the boat? What is it? Lost River Caves? That was fun.
We were going to, but they had flooding at that time.
Oh, okay.
Just the trails there.
Okay. You go in, they take you in by little boats into the cave, and then
where's that at?
A little tour. It's Lost River Caves in Bowling Green.
Okay.
And I want to back up a little bit to Mammoth Cave National Park. If you're planning on going there in spring break, definitely get your tickets in advance.
Oh, that's
those tours do sell out. We've been disappointed there before. But the historic tour is a great tour to start out on. It tells the history of the cave. It has Fat Man Squeeze, I think, or Fat Woman Squeeze, and then Tall Man's Agony or something. And it's just kind of fun. We laughed like really hard going through there because I'm a little chubby, so I was worried I wasn't going to fit through the squeeze. But
going through there.
plenty of room through there. But my kids are like 6'5", and so going through the Tall Man's Agony was really funny for them. So that was a fun tour to do.
Oh my gosh!
Remember that race called the Beach Bend Park?
The what park?
Beach Bend Park, and that's where you can watch the drag races.
That's cool.
And then we also did near a horse cave. There's a museum there, and then we rappelled into the face of a cave. That was kind of fun.
Sounds fun. Okay. So we've had West Coast and we got the Midwest. What do we have ideas for our East Coast friends?
The historic triangle in Virginia.
Oh, yep, Williamsburg, that area.
Williamsburg, Jamestown. I can't even think of the other one. Plymouth Plantation. Lots of history there.
I've been to Williamsburg. That's really nice. And have you guys been to Hampton, Virginia? That's going to be over that way. It's on the coast. Mm-hmm. They have the best science and space, I guess, space museum there. A NASA Space Museum. I love it. And I'm not a huge space fan, but that museum is so well done. It was great. So
it's been a long time since we've been there, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been to Williamsburg in a really long time, but that's great for history. Homeschoolers out there, just go. Just take the kids and go to Williamsburg.
What people don't realize about Williamsburg is that you don't have to buy a ticket to go through there. Williamsburg is open to the public, so you can just go through and you can check it out for yourself, and then you can go and decide if you want to buy a ticket or not. If you want to, there are some properties that you have to have a ticket, like some of the governor's house, you have to have a ticket, but you can purchase that separately. So if you don't want to do the whole Williamsburg experience, there are ways to get around that and ways to save money. We went to Williamsburg twice before we decided to go ahead and buy a ticket. And when you buy a ticket, you buy a whole pass for a year. Nice.
Another great for homeschoolers, if you're working on any history components, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Gettysburg would be good.
Gettysburg is great. And that's free too, pretty much. I mean, you can drive through the historic sites without paying a fee.
That's one of the places we haven't been to.
Oh, I highly recommend it. Highly. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Everybody should also take advantage of the national parks. If you have a fourth grader in your family, your family, like the fourth grader and their family, can get into the national parks that year. So you can do that online, and that's something to definitely take advantage of. So a great amount of money. And there's a national park in every single state.
Right. And if you don't have a fourth grader, consider buying the National Park Pass.
Yeah.
Because that will save you money as well.
Mm-hmm. It's only $80. It's good for a whole year.
Yeah.
You get into all the parks you want to. We buy one every year just to support the parks. So what are your favorite parks? What are your favorite national parks?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is awesome.
Yellowstone is great, but I have not been to Glacier yet. So Glacier may bump out Yellowstone, but Yellowstone definitely. Trying to think what else. Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes. I don't know if it's designated as a national park or a national landmark up in northern Michigan. That one is awesome.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. So definitely Yellowstone should be on everybody's list to go to at least once. Anything out on the west really there is just gorgeous. Do you have a favorite?
Beautiful.
Nedra?
I have to agree with you with Yellowstone. That was a big one.
Lisa thinks we should go to Roosevelt National Park in Medora, North Dakota. I've not been to North Dakota.
I've never been to North Dakota either.
I guess
I'm going this year. It's on my list for this year. Yeah.
Go and report back to us. That sounds good. We'll have the whole blab just on North Dakota. Are you up for it?
I can't wait to see those roadside attractions out there on the Enchanted Highway.
Great ones. Great.
Yes.
Tonya, do you have a favorite national park?
It's one of my favorites, but it's one that we get to a lot because it's close to Ohio. So we go to the Smokies quite often.
Oh, yeah. That's beautiful.
I just like that area there. There's Cades Cove, which is beautiful.
I've not been there yet. I need to go.
A lot of waterfalls, great hiking.
Yeah.
So definitely the Smokies. But the Grand Canyon is probably my favorite.
Not been there either.
We were doing a Route 66 tour, and we were going to skip it because we had to detour a little bit. And my husband's like, it's just a pit in the earth. We don't need to see it. But it is the most fabulous pit in the earth I've ever seen. So go see it.
Little Fam Adventure says we should try Joshua Tree National Park in California, which I drove right by and didn't stop at. Now I'm feeling slightly ashamed. Oh man, there's way too many national parks. I think we should probably map it out and then take one massive road trip.
I would love to do that.
Like go to all of them.
We'd need like a year. Definitely.
Would it be fun though?
It would be amazing.
If you're watching us right now, go ahead and drop us a message on the sidebar telling us what your favorite national park is, where you think we should go. What national park you think we should visit. Maybe I should rephrase that. Because those are
while
great.
they're doing that, oh, sorry, Deb.
No, go ahead.
While we're doing that, I just wanted to give a couple tips. We had somebody ask earlier for tips for homeschoolers to save money on spring break. And my suggestions would be not to travel during spring break. Homeschoolers are normally flexible, so unless you have one child who's in school and then you homeschool the other ones, definitely take your vacation or getaway on non-spring break days to save money.
That's a great idea.
Another thing is ask for an educator discount when you're going to different museums and attractions, because sometimes they will allow homeschoolers discounts. Reciprocal memberships are great for anybody, not just homeschoolers. Everybody should be using reciprocal memberships if you go to museums and things like that a lot. And finally, for homeschoolers specifically, HSLDA, if you're a member, that's Homeschool Legal Defense Association, has travel perks.
Oh.
So they've arranged for homeschoolers to get discounts at choice hotels. You get a 15% discount. You have to make that in advance. I would advise you to look and see if you can get other discounts first, because sometimes they'll be better than that. They also have discounts at the Creation Museum. And let me see, I wrote it down here. National Car Rental gives you a 5% discount, and then they have rental car perks that save up to 25%.
Wow.
So that's with your HSLDA membership.
That's lots of sales and discounts, because at the end of the day, we all love to save money, so we can, travel more.
Travel more.
Absolutely. Any last minute questions from people that are maybe viewing us live right now? Spring break, off the beaten path. Questions, suggestions, anything? Nothing's popping up. We're wrapping up here shortly. I know we always tend to go to warm weather for spring break. Consider, even if you watch, and I hate to harp on these people, but Spirit Airlines has such cheap rates. So my friend,
I love Spirit.
My friend Tanisha just bought, get this, from Detroit to LA and back, round trip tickets for a family of 5, $250.
Whoa. To where? Where was it?
From Detroit to LA and back. Los Angeles.
That's amazing.
$250 for all of them to fly. That's less than one ticket generally is for one person. So you could always watch those sales and grab a ticket to even Costa Rica or something where it's relatively inexpensive once you're there and have fun there. So.
And a tip I learned with Spirit is it's from Deb. She said to make sure that you sign up for their email newsletter so that way you find out about the sales.
Yep, that's how Tanisha got those.
I get emails every other day with sales someplace.
And every other day I'm patiently waiting for that email to show up so I can see where I can go cheap next.
Right.
The highlight of my day is getting my Spirit email. It's disgusting, but I am slightly addicted. Somebody Little Fam Adventures took Spirit from Dallas to Orlando for $71 per person. Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How was your flight? How was that with Spirit? Did you like it? Hate it? I just flew back last night on Spirit from Dallas back to Detroit, and it was $43 each way for me to go. So for $43, I'll sit in the cattle car and just suck it up. So yeah, it's so cheap. There's no reason not to take the kids and fly somewhere. So I like it. So it looks like nothing else, and we've got a minute left. You want to wrap us up, Tonya?
Yeah. Do you remember what we're talking about next time? I can't remember.
I can look. We are talking about. We will be talking about a destination. Yet undecided.
To be determined.
Maybe, yeah, we'll talk about a destination.
Yeah, so you can follow Deb at justshortofcrazy.com. You can check out her website. Just Short of Crazy on Twitter.
Nope, it's
Are you
Deb
Just Short of
Thompson.
Crazy?
Deb Thompson on Twitter. It's Deb Thompson across all the
See?
social media. Sorry.
And I know that.
Yep.
I know that. Okay. Deb Thompson on social media.
Yeah.
You can follow Adventure Mom on your Adventure Mom, right? On social
Twitter,
media.
the Adventure Mom.
The
The Adventure Mom. Okay.
On Twitter.
You can follow Nedra at The Adventure Mom on social media. Check out her blog, theadventuremomblog.com. You can follow me at Traveler Mom on social media or thetravelingpraters.com. And we will announce on our social media sites and on our website or our website what our topic is going to be next week. And we'll be back here next Thursday at 1 o'clock for 30 minutes for our travel coffee chat.
And the girls will bring coffee next time. Star Wars.
Because I need caffeine today.
Yep.
So definitely next week.
All right. I'll see you girls next week. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.